It's doing great here in North Carolina, although we have a thunderstorm outside. I was going to play golf later, but I guess not today.
Not today, but you have the rest of the week. And we're going to kind of jump into a topic that, I mean, Alan, what we learned last week on the podcast involving healthcare is mind blowing. So, Impact Healthcare was interesting, and you become involved with them. Tell me why.
Well, Neil, my whole practice is protection of the family and protection of your assets and trying to save people as much money as possible and getting out of debt. And a lot of people, when I show them my Debt Free for Life program, uh, they're, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have any extra money to put towards the getting out of debt. But when they have to pay the exorbitant amounts of money for health care, and I can save them a tremendous amount of money. I'll give you a perfect example. I've got two clients already from last week, and I just started this, and I'm adding it to my business because it just enhances the credibility of my business. One guy was 39 years old, married with two kids, and I'm saving him over $7,700 a year in his healthcare cost. The other guy, he's married. They're both 58 years of age, have two children. I'm saving them over $14,400 in their healthcare costs per year. And on top of that, I've reduced their deductible from $10,000 to $2,500 from the copay of they're paying 20% now to 10%. You have your choice of doctors, your prescriptions. Well, I'll go through that in a little bit, but this makes a huge difference for people. Now they're able to afford becoming debt free, setting up a tax free retirement. And that's what's so great about this program. Not only am I saving money, but I can protect the family with other things that I do.
Right. Because once you have money saved, where no one in America right now is saving money, the only way to go out and save money is make more money. And the average American can't do that. So now you're saving Americans money, which is gigantic, Alan. And now they can put that towards long-term, looking at long-term care with cash value life insurance, all the different things. Look at annuities, things that they couldn't do because they didn't have any money saved. Everything was paycheck to paycheck. With decreasing their healthcare costs, that can free them up for multiple things.
Oh yeah. I mean, one of the things I asked people, I said, think about yourself being completely debt free in 2 years or 10 years or whatever. Just imagine that. Think of what you can do. Think of what you can do for your family. Think of what you can do for yourself. And people, well, I've never been that way, so I don't know what it's like. Well, we can get you there.
No doubt. All right. So we talked about some of the highlights of what you can actually save. You talked about deductibles. The deductibles are much lower, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like both of these policies were for $2,500 deductible. Now, Neil, that's not per person. That's the entire family. Most insurance policies, you got 10,000 or $2,500 deductible for each person. So if you got a family of four, that's $10,000.
Right. And then there's certain rules, certain things are deductibles and certain things aren't. Certain things don't
Correct.
count against the deductible. You run into all those different types of red tape. Like, oh, we're not counting this in deductibles.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah,
exactly right.
it's you just all those different things. So what about prescriptions?
You got a prescription card. As far as I know, it's accepted in all the the pharmacies, and you can go in there, and the prescriptions are so much less because they don't pay the middleman. They pay the cost of those prescriptions, and some of these prescriptions are, you pay your copay is $1,000 a month. That's unbelievable,
So the
and it
prediction,
costs me.
so you've learned that the prescriptions don't from last podcast, so we can verify based on, and this is your podcast, the prescriptions are not part of the deductible then.
Right, because you can pay because the cost for the prescriptions that they go straight to the manufacturer and pay costs. They don't they don't pay the market.
Oh, that's
I
impressive.
need to do some more research on that, but
Well,
that
we're going to
stuff,
find out. And
yeah,
that's why but I, like you said, you look at prescription drugs, certain prescription drugs bankrupt people. They really
exactly.
do. So this is the big deal that finding it. But again, we talked about it with our guest last week. It's because they're not a for-profit organization
Yep.
that they can make these costs affordable for people.
That's exactly right, Neil.
How do doctors feel about this plan, Alan?
Well, from what I've seen and the video testimonies that I've seen, doctors love it because they're usually paid within a month. And the thing is, uh, most of these insurance companies, they take 6 to 12 months to pay the doctors. So doctors love it.
What are some of the disqualifications for this program?
Well, it's really quite simple. If you had diabetes, a heart attack, or a stroke within the last 3 years, and you're 3 years health clear, you're accepted. And they don't use high blood pressure. And how many people have you yourself high blood pressure? How many people
Right.
get disqualified for health care because they have high blood pressure?
Yes, and what they define as high blood pressure really mess things up. It used to be that borderline was 140 over 90 10 years ago. Now it's considered high blood pressure. That's for the pharmaceuticals, to be honest with you. And they said, well, what if it's this or that? They're going to do whatever they can to make money, but it's good when people have to go on these medications that they can afford them. How many people can you cover?
Well, this is another great thing. It covers up to 3 people, but if you got 10 in your family, everybody's covered. That's amazing in itself.
Is telemedicine included in
Oh,
preventative
absolutely.
care? Hmm.
That's a thing of the future. That's a thing right now, and telemedicine is included. And also preventative care. That's included also. And a lot of policies don't have that.
Okay. What is the copay?
Well, the copay, most copays are with most of the major companies is 20%. Ours is 10%.
Wow. That's huge because that's another savings. And
Absolutely.
I think you've already mentioned, Alan, why you're doing this, but you can add more to why you're doing this,
Well,
adding it to
Neil,
your business.
we've gone over this many times on our podcast. What I do is I show people how to reduce and possibly eliminate both debt and taxes, possibly set them up with a tax-free retirement, show them how they become their own bank, borrowing from themselves and paying themselves compounding interest for them and not the financial institutions, and also eliminating the risk in retirement that a stock portfolio or a bond portfolio, real estate or money market actually compound. That in itself is huge. But now that I've got this added, I can save people so much money in their healthcare costs. That just adds to my practice. And as far as I'm concerned, my credibility as looking out for the client.
Totally, Alan. How do people find out more information and want to be the save money on their healthcare and get like a healthcare quote today? Because that's huge,
Well,
right? Because
yeah, absolutely. We can get a healthcare quote today. There's a small form you have to fill out, but give me a call at 910-551-1046, or my email address is strategicwealth, the number 0, at gmail.com. And of course, my website is strategicwealthstrategies.com.
all right, Alan, we appreciate you coming by. Great information again in this podcast, but this is a huge deal, and we're going to save people money on their health insurance. I remember, I forget which one. We'll save money on your car insurance, but we'll save money on your health insurance. That's got to be your new slogan, because no one ever says that.
No,
No one, no one. Have you ever heard of that as a quote?
nope,
I'll save
I've
you
never
money
heard
on
of
your
that.
health insurance. I forget who is it, the general that says I'll save money on your car insurance, or no,
Yeah.
Geico. Geico. Now, what is your mascot going to be, Alan?
Well, I think he's going to be, I don't know, Komodo dragon, I guess.
Okay, we'll look for a Komodo dragon. Appreciate it, Alan.
All right, take
All
care.
right,
Have a
that was
great
the
day.
Strategic Wealth Strategies podcast.